Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Ramonepreston Show. If you're coming on live, please hit that like button, hit that share button, and tag Lolly Dolly everybody and let them know your boy Ramonepreston, my squad, they're on the other side of our office and the Ramonepreston Show. We're live right here on this beautiful Friday, right here in the beautiful Buckhead community of Atlanta. Today is October the 21st, a beautiful, beautiful, little chilly, but it's beautiful Friday out here. And I hope all of you that are watching today that you're doing well. Please, if you're coming on live, do me a favor, hit the like button, hit the share button, and put in the comments what city you're watching us from on this beautiful Friday. I would love to know that. Please be sure to put in the comments, what city you're watching me from. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sitting here working on my computer while I'm live on the show. We are prepping up for an amazing, life-changing, game-changing event tomorrow. And I would love for you and for whoever it is that's connected to you to join me and to be a part of our business boot camp tomorrow. Tomorrow from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m., I'm going to be hosting a live, in-person and virtual business boot camp. If you have not RSVP'd yet, today is going to be your last day to RSVP. Before today ends, we will be closing registration and we will be ending the offer that we have extended for the past 2 weeks to you and to our community. So if you're watching me on this show today and it's Friday, October the 21st, when you're watching this, I want to extend an offer to you to, number one, join me tomorrow, Saturday, October the 22nd, to spend 4 hours with me. It's going to be a free event. It's a free business boot camp. Periodically, I host free events, and we do it big. We rent a space in the local Marriott Buckhead Conference Center. It's like literally walking distance from our headquarters. And we make sure that we get a venue, we lay out the red carpet, and we take at least 4 hours to do deep dives into certain concepts and principles that we know can help you become financially free and build a successful business. And so tomorrow, October the 22nd, Saturday from 12 to 4, I'm going to be next door at the Marriott Buckhead Conference Center, my team and I, and we have quite a few people who have already RSVP'd, and I want you to join me tomorrow for this 4-hour event. It's a business boot camp. I'm going to be talking about holding companies, and I'm going to be talking about creative tax strategies. All right. So if you're already actively in business and you have been doing business all year, we're not even talking about last year and the year before and the year before that. We're just talking about 2021, 2022. If you have been doing business all of 2022, from January of this year up to now, if you have done any type of business, if you have generated any kind of revenue, whether it's been a side hustle, whether it's been an independent contracting opportunity, whether it's been you freelancing, or you just, finding gigs here or there, or just running a legitimate business, here's what's going to happen to you. When you come into 2023, you're going to have to file your taxes for your business, if it's an LLC, and if it's you as the owner, you're going to have to file taxes based on the income, the revenue, the money that your business made, okay? And so this is one of the reasons why I am taking 4 hours tomorrow, live, in person, and virtual, to give you strategies on what you can do to lower that tax bill and to increase your profits. I'm going to be taking 4 hours to show you how to use holding companies and subsidiaries to build a legitimate organizational enterprise that will assist you in strategies like lowering your taxes. So if you're already in business and you know you're interested in learning this stuff, it ain't even about being interested. You know you gotta learn this stuff. You know you gotta learn it. Now, the only reason why, or one of the main reasons why you might not wanna learn this stuff is because you're doing business under the table. You're doing business shady. You know, you just under the table, you just a shade tree business owner, you don't file taxes, you don't pay taxes, you don't track your income and expenses, you just get out every day and hustle and grind and make a couple dollars. If that's what you're doing and that's what you want to do, I'm telling you, you're not going to do that and create a successful business. You're not going to operate like that and become a millionaire. It's just not going to happen. Most people never get to financial freedom when they do business shady. Most people never get to financial freedom and to business success when they do not legitimize their businesses. So if you think flying under the radar, working under the table, you know, just winging it every day as a business owner is going to get you to some financial success, then I'm not the person for you. But if you truly believe that you want to be a millionaire, you believe that you're supposed to be, and you know that being a millionaire is tied to having a legitimate, successful business, I want to help you. I want to show you what you need to do to put that type of structure together, the right systems and the right strategy so that you can continue to succeed. Now, one of the reasons why I'm so passionate about this is because I wasn't raised with money. I was raised in poverty. I had a very, very hard upbringing. I spent all of my teenage years addicted to drugs, committing crimes, running the streets. And it wasn't until a few months shy of my 21st birthday that I really got myself together, got saved, got cleaned up, started going to church, started living right, and started becoming a productive citizen. That was 25 years ago. And for the past 25 years, I have had to figure out not only how to make up for the first 20 years of my life that I wasted and ruined, but for the last 25 years, I've worked hard to figure out how can I be a successful business owner? How can I be financially free? How can I put me and my family in a financial position that we don't have to struggle and worry and be stressed out every day of our lives? And I am so grateful. I am so thankful to God that I've been able to do that. And every day I wake up, I continue to build on that. And I know what it took for me to do what I've been able to do at this point in my life. I want you to have access to that information as well. I want you to not only know that it's possible, but I want you to have the tools that make it possible. So if you're willing to learn these principles and concepts, if you're willing to learn these strategies and apply them to your life, it's going to change you. It's going to help you. So again, tomorrow from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m., Saturday, October 22nd, right here in person at the Marriott Buckhead Conference Center. If you're local, if you're somewhere close by, I would love for you to join me in person. If you can't join me in person, join me virtually. But you have to RSVP. You have to sign up so that we can account for your presence, whether it's in person and virtual. And once you sign up, you're going to get a ticket, a VIP ticket. You're going to get a welcome email, a thank you email, whatever type of emails that we send out once you sign up. And then tomorrow morning, prior to the event, you're going to get an email. If you're joining us, you're going to get an email, and that email is going to be a reminder for the event. But inside that email, you're going to have a digital PDF version for the workbook. That we have an interactive workbook that we're going to walk you through for these 4 hours. And if you're virtual, you're going to also have a link to the private Zoom. So it's not going to be open to the public. It's not going to be on Facebook and YouTube and Twitter and Instagram live. We won't necessarily be streaming it live. It will be streaming through a private Zoom link. Okay. So again, I want you to RSVP. And if you have already RSVP'd, or when you RSVP, we also have a special offer. This special offer is for $197. I'm giving everyone who RSVPs to this free event tomorrow. You don't have to purchase these courses. I'm just extending a special offer to people who have RSVP'd. So if you go to my university website right now, Ramonepreston.com or RamoneprestonUniversity.com, my courses on there start at $497. Okay, that's where my courses start. I have $497 courses. I have a Millionaire Blueprint, which is all of my courses in one. That's $1,500. I have a mentorship program for coaching. It's a 1 year. It starts at $3,500. I have other programs and services that I offer as a consultant. And I have a licensing program. I have a coaching certification program. So I have many programs. I have many products and services. But my lowest program on there is $497. And so what I decided to do while we prepared for tomorrow's 4-hour event, I decided to take my 2 signature courses, my 1 course on holding companies and my 1 course on creative tax strategies, both of which are topics that I'm going to be talking about tomorrow. I decided to take those 2 courses and extend an offer to everyone who RSVP'd for $197. So instead of you paying $497 for this course and $497 for that course, or $1,500, I just decided to put 2 courses together that I know are going to be related to what I'm talking about tomorrow for 4 hours, and give you access to all of those educational videos, especially if you know you want to learn how to start and structure a holding company. You want to learn how to implement creative tax strategies. You want to learn how to file and form your paperwork correctly. You want to learn how to draft your operating agreements. You want to learn how to manage your holding company, how to run the day-to-day operations of it. You want to learn more sophisticated ways of tracking your income and expenses so that you can be a better business accountant for your or do better business accounting for your business. So these 2 offers I'm extending to you because they end today. So if you're watching this for the first time, or maybe you haven't really been able to follow me for the past couple weeks, and you have not RSVP'd for my free business bootcamp tomorrow, and maybe you want to take me up on the offer for 2 courses that I'm offering for $197, if you want to reach out to me, I want you to do it right now, because once I leave this office and once my staff leaves this office and once we shut down, we're going to be coming back tomorrow at the Buckhead Marriott Conference Center, and we're going to be hosting our event. So this offer is not going to be available. So you can't call me Monday and say, hey, let me get those 2 courses for $197. It's not going to be available Monday. Okay? It's not going to be available Monday. So you can text right now if you want to take me up on that, just in case you missed it. You can text special. No, it's not. What you say, daughter? What you said? Nope, it's not going to be available Saturday. This offer is not going to be available tomorrow. It ain't going to be available Sunday. It ain't going to be available Monday. It ends today. So if you've been getting my emails, if you've been watching the show, and I've been talking about Tech Special, and I've been showing you what you're going to get in those 2 courses, today is the last day for you to reach out to me, and you can text the word special to 404-478-7213. So if you need us to RSVP you, okay, we're closing registration on this. We're closing registration on it today, because we've already made copies for the workbooks that we're going to have in person. We don't have to make copies for the virtual PDF versions, but we're not going to be spinning our wheels after we shut registration down tomorrow trying to figure out who is in and who is not. You know what I mean? We're just not going to do that. So we got to make sure that we maintain integrity. So if you would like for us to RSVP you to our free business boot camp tomorrow for 4 hours, you can text the word special to 404-478-7213. If you would like to take me up on the offer that I have for $197, the 2 courses on holding companies and creative tax strategies, all you need to do is text the word special to 404-478-7213, and we will get you onboarded today. You will get immediate access to these courses and you can start training. So I got a few stories that just really blessed me just within the last week or two. So we've had people that have reached out to us, which, by the way, if you have reached out to us and you have already RSVP'd, and if you've already taken me up on this offer, the $197 offer for the 2 courses, I want to say thank you. Congratulations to you for investing in yourself and investing in your future, investing in your success. But we've already had a couple people who took us up on the offer. They RSVP'd. They purchased the 2 courses for $197 because they wanted to learn while they prepared for the event tomorrow. And we've already had a couple people that have reached back out to us and have told us that the courses are just life-changing for them. Things that they're learning. Some of these people that have taken me up on this offer have already participated in other programs. They have worked with a few people who might be considered my competitors, and they have told me and my team that what they're learning in these courses and how it's helping them to understand these sophisticated wealth building concepts and principles, it's life-changing for them. So if you're watching this, I want to say thank you and congratulations to you. Now, let's talk a little bit about what are you going to learn tomorrow when you join me for this 4-hour event. What exactly can you expect to learn tomorrow? Well, again, it's a 4-hour event. It's a free event, this business boot camp. Okay, and so I just want to kind of give you a little bit of idea of what you're going to be learning. So this is a business boot camp. And this business boot camp is centered around 2 specific concepts and principles. Number 1, the holding company. This is what I'm going to be talking about tomorrow, the holding company. And I'm going to be talking about creative tax strategies. So if you were wondering, bro, what you going to talk about tomorrow? Bro, what you taking 4 hours to talk to us about tomorrow? Bro, what is this free event about? Is it going to be a 4-hour pitch fest? No, it's going to be a 4-hour boot camp. I'm going to do deep diving into these 2 concepts, into these 2 principles to show you that if you plan on becoming financially free, if you are already in the process of starting a business, or if you looking at starting a business, or if you already have businesses started, these 2 concepts and principles need to be included in your business activity. They have to be. Number 1, the holding company, because you should operate your business enterprise like a holding company. I gave you some examples of holding companies the other day. Amazon is a holding company. Alphabet, that owns Google and YouTube, is a holding company. JP Morgan is a holding company. Berkshire Hathaway is a holding company. Johnson & Johnson is a holding company. Bank of America, Citigroup, Prudential, these are all holding companies. Why are they holding companies if holding companies are not necessary? And I know there are some people that will say, oh, well, they work for those big companies. You ain't big enough to be using a holding company. Says who? That's the problem with people in our community now. That's the problem with a lot of entrepreneurs and small business owners now. They always think wealth building principles and concepts don't work for them, when the truth is they do work for you. Otherwise, you probably never have a chance of becoming a millionaire and getting wealthy. So learning the concepts and the principles behind why you should have a holding company, what a holding company is, What types of assets and investments and businesses should you build out under your holding company? How do you build them out? Where do you put them? What activities can you participate in on a day-to-day basis as the manager of a holding company so that these assets and investments and businesses can continue to grow the overall enterprise value of your organization? These are all the things that I'm going to be talking about tomorrow. So during this event tomorrow, you're going to learn what a holding company is. You're going to learn how a holding company works. I'm going to talk to you a lot about this concept of a holding company to show you that the concept of a holding company, or the idea of a holding company, or the beliefs behind a holding company, allow people to use holding companies as wealth building vehicles. Does that make sense? It's a vehicle. So it's like, if you have an idea to be wealthy, if you know you want to be a millionaire, and in order for you to be a millionaire, you got to get from point A to point B, right? And in front of you, let's say there are different vehicles. You can put on some shoes and walk to point B. You can get on a skateboard and go to point B. You could get on a bike and go to point B. You can get in a car and go to point B. You can get on a train, or you can get on a jet, right? So now you have to decide which vehicle are you going to use to get from where you are, point A, to point B, so that you can be a millionaire, or so that you can build wealth. Depending on what vehicle you use, it will really have a lot to do to determine, number one, the speed at which you get there, right? And it will have a lot to do to determine if you ever get there, because you don't know all of the ups and downs, all of the hazards, all of the roadblocks that are between point A and point B. So you might start out with a pair of shoes and say, oh, I'm going to just use a pair of shoes. I'm going to just get a job. I'm going to just save money. I'm going to just lower my expenses. I'm going to just bag my lunch every day, and think you're going to get there, only to realize that there's a certain body of water between point A and point B that you can't walk across, or you can't swim across. You get what I'm saying? So it actually requires at least a boat. But then you get to a certain point to where you realize it's too far for a boat. A boat can't get across a certain plane, like a mass of land. So now I might need a jet. So this is why a holding company is important, because the distance between you and becoming a millionaire, the distance between you, where you are right now, and being wealthy, that distance is not only so far, but it's so complicated. There are so many things that have to happen in order for you to become financially free. Don't let anybody tell you different, because if somebody tells you, oh, it's so easy to be financially free, all you got to do is just save. All you got to do is just live a little bit beneath your means. All you got to do is just put a little money up. All you got to do is just work hard, trust God, pray, go to church, pay your tithes. All that stuff may contribute to it, but there are some natural things that have to be done. There are some principles and concepts that have to be understood, and there are some actions and efforts that you have to implement and execute on a whole nother level. Because I know a whole lot of people, especially people that come from not just the black community, but people who come from the church and the faith community. I hear a lot of these people always say, oh, I'm just praying and I'm fasting and I'm trusting God, and I go to church and I speak in tongues and I pray 18 times a day, and I don't cuss, I don't club, I don't lie, I don't cheat, I don't do none of this stuff. I pay my tithes, and they still never get to a place of financial freedom. Now, what's the problem there? Is it because of what they're doing is wrong? Is it because God ignored them? Or is it because there are some things God ain't doing for them, God doing through them? And in order for him to do it through them, he wants them to have certain principles that are complementary to their beliefs, complementary to their faith. This is where a lot of people miss it. And even people outside of the church, okay, if you ain't got God, you don't trust God, you don't believe in God, that's one problem you got, okay? The next problem is you don't understand any of the laws that govern the life that you live. And so my point in saying all this is the holding company can become the most important vehicle you use to become financially free. I had to figure this out. I had to learn this. And once I figured it out and learned it and started executing it, I saw a change. And everybody that I teach this to, everybody that uses this, they see a change in their lives. And most of the times it's an immediate change. Now you're thinking, how can that be an immediate change? Well, let me show you. Let's say if you put a holding company together, you got a business idea and you follow my rule and you say, okay, I got a business that I want to start, right? So this is the business that I want to start. I got some product and some service that I want to sell. Let's just say that's you, okay? You got some business that you want to start. And you listen to me and I say, well, listen, if you're going to start this business, I wouldn't make this business the top business. I will make this business an operating business, and I will put a holding company above it so that your holding company can own this business. Just making that one decision not only adds another layer of protection to you, but it also keeps you free at the top so that you're never plateaued or bottlenecked by this business. Because what happens if this is the only business you have and it doesn't work in 6 months? Now you got to scrap this business and that's your only business. What happens if it takes off and you want to exit it because you got other things that you want to do? You don't want to give somebody your only baby. But if you have a holding company and you set it up like this here, now you're able to utilize it in a different way because maybe you just exit up to managing the holding company and letting your holding company manage the operating company. And then you're able to start other baby companies that allow you to take the money that you're making in the main business and move it around to expand your enterprise. But you're not going to be able to do that if you don't put a structure together. Which brings me to this second concept and principle that I'm going to be talking about tomorrow. Creative tax strategies. There is no way you're going to be successful in business. And when I say successful, I'm talking about there's no way you're going to make money in your business and keep that money and multiply that money if you don't learn how to lower your tax bill and maximize your profits. It's just not going to happen. Most people who work jobs and who own businesses, most people don't even know or understand, or they are not even aware that their biggest bill is a tax bill. This is your biggest bill right here. Your biggest bill. And if you think I'm lying, just look at your pay stub. If you think I'm lying, just look at your pay stub. And again, if you're not paying taxes, it's because you either, you're a nonprofit, you're a 501c3. It's because you're just really good in a business with certain creative strategies, or it's because you're doing business under the table. It's one of the three. It's one of the three. It's one of the three. Point blank period. You're either just a nonprofit 501c3, that's why you're not paying taxes, or you are just really, really good at creative tax strategies in your business that allows you to lower your tax bill to little to nothing, or you just doing business under the table and you don't even file for taxes. But how far are you gonna go like that? Like, how long are you gonna do that? How long are you gonna play that crazy game? At some point, you gotta get it right, and you gotta get it right, and you gotta do it right the first time. So I would love if you have any questions for you to put the questions in the comments. And again, if you have not RSVP'd for my business boot camp tomorrow, if you have not RSVP'd, I want you to RSVP. It's a free business boot camp. It's free. It's free 99. And I promise you, and maybe I shouldn't be making a promise on a live stream, but I sure promise you, I bet you bottom dollar tomorrow, if you spend 4 hours with me learning about holding companies and creative tax strategies, if you take 4 hours tomorrow from 12 p.m. to 4 and join me and let me show you these concepts and principles, let me teach you these strategies, let me show you some solutions for your business and finances, I bet your bottom dollar, bet your top dollar, I guarantee you, promise you, if I can use any of those words, that you will leave that event tomorrow way more educated on these things than you ever have been before, period. Even if you know a lot about it, I guarantee you're going to learn something. You're going to learn something new. I've got some people that's going to be attending tomorrow. Like, listen, I don't know, maybe I just come off as just this guy that doesn't know what he's doing and just running his mouth, but I have some of the most sophisticated, experienced people that I coach, that I consult, that I educate. Like, literally, I have people that I work with who are experts in their field. They are amazing at the things that they do as professionals, that learn these principles and concepts and tell me that they knew nothing about this. I know people who have master degrees and doctorate degrees in business and accounting and finance and leadership and administration that learn some of the things that I teach them, and they're like, wow, I never learned this in school. Well, some of this stuff you ain't gonna learn. A lot of this stuff you ain't gonna learn in school. A lot of this stuff you ain't even gonna know unless you are an entrepreneur like I am, who has spent tens of thousands of hours studying and researching and developing and experimenting and putting concepts and principles together to figure out what works and what doesn't work. And as far as I've come as an entrepreneur, as much as I've accomplished as an entrepreneur, I still feel like, compared to where I want to go, I ain't did nothing. I still feel like that every day, but I'm definitely nowhere near today where I was 20 years ago when I first made the committed decision to be a full-time entrepreneur. So I would love to know if you're going to join me tomorrow. If you can make it tomorrow, I would love to know. Just put it in the comments if you're coming virtual, if you're coming in person. I would love to know. And again, if you have not RSVP'd, today is going to be your last day, because we're closing registration today. And we are ending this special offer that we have made available for $197. So if you want to get an extra added bonus to your free RSVP, and you want to take me up on these 2 courses on holding companies and creative tax strategies, all you got to do is text the word special to 404-478-7213. So we'll be talking about holding companies tomorrow. I'm going to be showing you what a holding company is. I'm going to be talking to you about how a holding company works. I'm going to also be talking to you about creative tax strategies. So I'm going to be showing you, like, how do you create a accounting system for yourself and for your business that allows you to stay on top of your financial activities. Okay? Like, there's a strategic process you're going to have to go through to not only stay on top of your financial activities, meaning that on one hand, you want to be able to trace what you've done. You should always have some type of financial system that you can look back 6 months, a year, to see, like, what did I do last October this time? What was I doing 6 months ago? What products and services did I offer that worked? And where did most of my money come from? Where were my expenses? Where was I heavy on expenses? How much money I made in the last 6 months? How much money I spent? How much money was left? Then you want to be able to track your current income and expenses and cash flow to see, am I making money right now? And how much am I spending? And how much am I netting? So that I'll know where I am. You should also be able to forecast into the future to see, okay, if I were to file my taxes today, what would my tax bill be? And whatever my tax bill is, do I actually have that money set aside to pay? Or do I have certain deductions that I've missed and write-offs that I missed that I have to go back? So these are very strategic processes that you have to go through. And I'm telling you, I keep telling people this, and I've had CPAs and tax strategists confirm this. Some that I've worked with and some that my clients work with. I'm telling you, if you are the entrepreneur that you're depending on accountants and CPAs that don't work for you, you just pay them to do a service once a year, a couple times a year. If you're depending on them to educate you on this stuff and to run this part of your business for you, I'm telling you, you are delusional. You are delusional. It don't work like that. It don't work like that. It does not work like that. Like, I appreciate every accountant, every CPA, every tax strategist that I've worked with. I appreciate the attorneys and the experts, the lenders, the bankers, and all the people that I work with. But let me tell you something. None of that is more important than what I need to know to at least be clear on what they're telling me, and to be able to have the confidence to speak with them and not be intimidated by them, so that I know my stuff, so that I'm not around here winging it, feeling like I don't know what's going on. See, I did that before. When I first started in business, I just believed everything every expert told me, and I thought what they were telling me was enough, until I realized they were just telling me what they needed to tell me based on their expertise. It wasn't their job to run my business. So it's not a CPA's job to run your financial accounting. Even when you pay CPAs to do bookkeeping or accountants or whoever, you still got to know your stuff. You got to be able to wake up every day and know, how much money am I spending? How much money am I making? How much money is left? So that I can forecast correctly. Like, it's very, very important. And if you don't understand any of these concepts and principles, you definitely need to join me tomorrow. Okay, so I'm ending this live. I've got the rest of the afternoon to go do with my team and with my family, so that we can prepare for tomorrow's event. I think we probably have over 160 people that may have RSVP'd, and some are going to be attending in person, some are going to be attending virtual. So again, if you would like to join me tomorrow for 4 hours, today is going to be your last day to RSVP for this free boot camp. And while you are prepping up for the boot camp, if you would like to take me up on this special one-time offer, where I'm giving you access to 2 of my signature courses for $197. If you go to Ramonepreston University right now, Google Ramonepreston University. I already know you're not going to go on Ramonepreston University and you're not going to see a $197 course. You're not going to find it because it doesn't exist. We created this special offer to extend to you because you're RSVPing for a free event, and because we want to make sure that you're thoroughly educated and trained on holding companies and creative tax strategies. If that means anything to you, text the word special to 404-478-7213. Otherwise, I look forward to seeing you tomorrow from 12 to 4 at our business boot camp. If you're not making it there, I'll be back here on the Ramonepreston Show Monday, 12 o'clock noon Eastern Standard Time. So have an amazing Friday. I love you. Appreciate you. Thank you for joining the show.